up, everybody? Welcome back to The Juice. We're your hosts, Wyatt Frankens and Shane Campbell.
Cheers.
And it has been a minute since we have hosted a podcast.
It's been a long minute.
Well, to go off of that, we filmed a couple of podcasts.
Yeah, how many we do? We did two.
We did two. But we haven't been able to
We don't need to talk about the guests or anything because those aren't coming on.
Right. You're right.
Yeah, I don't want to. How much of that we want to talk about?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that much. But hey, look at the new studio, guys.
Looks good.
New and improved, man.
Looks good. This is all we do. We don't record anything. We buy new accessories and foam, and we actually tried to hang the foam up that one time.
Yeah,
that'll never get seen, but it was a nightmare. We were recording one, and like this stuff is falling off the wall, and that's part of it. The episode went on for like 2 hours. Like, man, we can't post this. Can't post it.
Yeah.
Redo. Tournament schedules.
Yeah, Shane, you had fished at Open and
the
Toyota Series Championship for me, and we just had a bunch of stuff going on, and that's just kind of part of it. But now we're back, and we're back with a exciting episode. So.
Very exciting guest.
Yep.
Very exciting guest. So, I mean, he was one of the guys we talked about first. Big name in the industry. Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like the OG.
Right.
Wouldn't you call him the OG of YouTube?
The OG of YouTube.
LakeForkGuy.
Mr. Justin Rackley. Let's get this dude on the phone.
You just ready to jump in?
I'm ready to jump in because we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
We do. We don't need to spend time blabbering to each other. Let's get him on the phone. I'm excited about it. Hopefully he answers. He's a family man nowadays, so he's got children.
Yep.
Mr. LFG.
Hey, is this an ET crappie guide service?
Yeah, Wyatt Frankens can take you out. He's the best guide on Sam Rayburn.
Correct.
Lake Knack.
Facts.
Good, man. I'm looking to cook up a sack up.
I actually got a picture of you up here holding bass and a crappie because we know how much you love to catch those sac-a-lait.
That's right.
Dude, I do. How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. Thanks for coming on.
We are making it, man. We are making
Absolutely. I wanted to be there in person. We almost made it happen the other day.
We tried. So
tournament scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were here for 4 days. We had plenty of opportunity, but we chose to partake in extracurricular activities and just hang out and eat food. And
we were all practicing in the tournament. We were tired. Yeah. So
I hear you. That Traeger started coming out.
Man, was that not delicious or what?
Dude, I want to say thank you. You are the meat master. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. Happy to do it. Yeah, you provided the elk steaks. That was I wasn't sure how those were going to turn out. They turned out great.
I didn't get an invite to the elk steaks.
There was only so many of them.
Let me tell you why they were a little raw. Some might say beyond raw.
Yeah.
I got you.
But when you have enough brown water in your system, you eat them anyway. Nobody got worms that we know of.
No, I think everybody enjoyed it. The flavor was awesome. It was good. I appreciate you bringing those.
Yeah, man. You want to talk about fishing for a minute?
Yeah.
How's the fishing out there?
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, what did you
podcast?
so yeah, how did you feel about Rayburn? How did you feel about your event?
This was the TTO Pro Team event, by the way. So
yes. I just get my ass kicked every time on Rayburn in a tournament. Like, I actually like fishing Rayburn just, for fun, going out there, especially crappie fishing and just going after both.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of weeks ago, me and Shane went out and had a good time just fishing for crappie and ended up catching a couple of good bass. But, man, I love it because there's so many different contours out in the lake, like topographically, it's amazing. I wish there was a little bit more like standing timber you could flip to, kind of like some of the other East Texas lakes. But
Right.
I just love the way it sets up, but just tournaments, man. It's like unbelievable hammers come out of the woods and they show you how to catch fish.
Yeah, they live here.
Like, you guys you're them. I mean, you guys are part of that hammer club. But like, man, I show up and I just get my ass kicked every time, and that's okay. I learn something every time I go, and this time I learned a lot about those little creek channel deals. Following those ditches.
Yeah, they were
important.
Mm-hmm.
The bait and the fish were in them,
no doubt,
for sure,
definitely.
Yeah,
just figuring out those little swings and little niche spots.
Right.
But, yeah.
Rayburn's can be tricky from from the outside coming in. I could see that. A lot of pros talk about Rayburn that way and talk about how it's one of the trickier fisheries.
It's a big lake, man.
It is so big. You can do so much. So it's hard to dial in like the deal pretty quick. Like in a few days time. So
that's what I find a challenge is like, you can go a lot of places and catch 2-pounders.
Mm-hmm.
And you think you're having, you're like, wow, okay, got a little something here, you don't.
Yeah,
you don't.
Yeah. When the guys that win the event have a 55-pound 2-day total.
Golly,
Yeah,
good night.
Man.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is.
But
it is.
Anyway, I had a good time. Definitely looking forward to coming back there in the spring, and hopefully there's some grass that starts growing a little bit more.
Yeah,
next year.
That needs to grow back. Rayburn thrives when there's grass, and it's a little tough right now because the grass is not where it should be.
Right, I agree. I think there's going to be a good winter growth, though. I really do. The lake's low. I think there'll be.
Hope so.
I think there'll be a good winter growth.
Hope so.
What do we got, Shane?
Well, man, let's start from the beginning. Before we called you. I called you the OG of YouTube. I don't know if you like or dislike that title, but
it's been said. It's been said a few times.
No insult to anybody, any of the other big YouTubers out there, but man, you were like the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
I don't think I was the first one, but I was definitely part of that first handful of fishermen that were
the push, right?
Putting YouTube videos up, and I've never had like any explosive growth, and still my channel just slowly trucks along. I've just been doing it so long that it's grown to over 1 million subs now. But
yeah, congrats on that.
Yeah, congrats, man. That's
thanks,
awesome,
man. When I first started, I was a fishing guide, and I just saw this. It was like MySpace at the time.
Yeah,
and,
dude, I remember MySpace.
You remember MySpace?
Yeah,
everybody's rocking MySpace.
Yeah, Wyatt was like 11.
I was a young one. Yeah, I was a young one.
Yeah. You were probably. This was the early days, but YouTube was basically just cat videos, and I got on there and I started seeing these influencers. I didn't even call them influencers at the time, but these people talking about other topics, whatever. It's kind of new and exciting, and I was like, man, there's no fishing videos on here. So I thought it might be cool to just put out some fishing information. I was learning a lot at the time because I was fishing almost every day out on Fork, and that's where the name came from. That lake just hooked me the first time I went out there, and it's where I decided to just try to get a start in the fishing industry. So I was fishing there a lot when YouTube came out, so I started just putting out little clips. I had a GoPro Hero 1.
I was going to say, this is like original GoPro.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one. And a little like Canon, little snap shoot, like something you would just put in your pocket that only record like 5-minute video clips.
Nice.
So, yeah, I would just go out there and, when I had an off day from guiding, I would just film a little bit. And then when I learned a new technique, like something was working, I'd try to put a video out on that, just stuff I was learning. And then, people started watching it and getting some feedback, get a few comments, and they like it. And you just kind of build off that, build a little community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just
that's awesome.
Continue to grow.
So you fished in So you were fishing. You were a guide, but before that, you fished in college. You won a national championship, correct?
Sure did. High school fishing wasn't around when I was really young, but I played baseball. My first college I went to Weatherford Junior College, and played on the baseball team out there. Used to fish I had a little bass boat. I used to fish the Weatherford like Wednesday night tournaments, and Gary Klein actually showed up a few times.
Wow.
He lived out there. But anyway, that was my first year fishing in the BFL as a co-angler. Side note to that, the third event was on Sam Rayburn in spring, and I'd never been on that lake before. My boater, God, I think his name was Phil. I can't remember, but
depends on that last name.
He said, "Hey," he said, "Hey man, meet me at the stump at like 5:30 a.m." I was like, "All right, what's the stump?" You know, and I was staying at the Bass Buster, and so I figured it out. Met my boater over there, and then I saw like all these jerseys on the wall, these bass. I was like, "Damn, this is really cool." You know, this is like nostalgic place. And he was kind of walking me through like, hey, this is what we're going to be doing today. And that basically consisted of me putting on a biker helmet and getting into a Triton, a wobbly old Triton.
Old Chine walking Triton.
80 miles an hour. Oh my God. Yeah. And he gave me that helmet, man. And he's like, we're going to make a long run. To this day, I don't even know where we went. We went under 2 bridges.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
But
easy now.
it was way in the back of somewhere. And, dude, like, first few casts, he was hooking up 4 or 5 pounders, caught an 8. You know, I caught me a little 4-pounder on a rattle trap. I was hooping and hollering. And anyway, I got a check. And my boater won. He won the tournament.
I'm going to go with Phil Marks.
You think it was Phil Marks?
I mean, how many BFLs has that dude won?
I don't think it was Phil Marks. It was sponsored by Portacool at the time.
Portacool.
Ain't no telling, dude.
Ain't no telling. Phil the Hammer for Portacool.
Well, yeah, shout out Phil the Hammer for Portacool. Were you fishing grass?
That's what. Do what?
Were you fishing grass?
We were in like the back of a creek. It opened up it almost looked like a little pond area, and they were shallow. They were in like a couple feet of water. Yeah, there was grass.
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago. Up there, if you went above 2 bridges and there was grass,
he was up by Marion's Ferry.
That's there wasn't no grass.
Yeah, back then there was.
Man, it was
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
That's cool.
Well, so you go from
the next day.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say next day, my boater, we went out and fished Farmer's Flat. Didn't catch crap.
Old Hammer Hole, Farmer's Flat.
Old community
creek all over it too.
Yeah, Farmer's always pretty good for grass. Just gets a lot of pressure. But so you go from back of the boat, co-angler with Hammer Phil, and win a college natty. We're kind of fast forwarding here with the
Texas A&M.
Yeah,
Texas
A&M. After that, I went there. I found out they had a fishing club, and I believe Texas A&M and SFA have the oldest fishing clubs in the state.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to like the 70s or something like that.
No, that sounds about right. SFA was dominant.
I didn't know that.
Found out,
SFA was dominant per usual.
Yeah, they used to have like, it was just them that would fish against each other back in the day. But anyway, found out they had a club, went there, just fell in love with it. I love fishing all the lakes around College Station too. And then, anyway, within my club, I qualified to go fish the Boat US National Championship.
Okay, cool.
Won with my partner there. So,
well, that's awesome.
That kind of gave me a little leg up. The first person to shake my hand walking off the stage was Ronnie Parker from Lake Fork Trophy Lures.
Nice.
And he was just a good man. Just a good man. Helped me out a lot in the early days.
So then from there you go to PAA, correct?
Yeah. So the way they were doing it at the time, if you won or you were in like the top 4 that the college series, you qualified to go fish in the PAA. And that was a pretty exciting trail at the time. It eventually pootered out, but in the beginning, they were fishing some pretty awesome lakes.
Yeah,
The guys from FLW and the Elite Series dropping down.
Yeah, it was a big deal
to fish it. Yeah, it was pretty stiff competition. And dude, it was it was a major wake up going for college fishing.
I bet.
Some of the best guys in the world, dude.
Yeah.
I got my teeth pounded in.
So, but
I learned a lot there.
Did you qualify for a Texas Toyota Bass Classic through the PAA?
I did. Man, that was probably the funnest event I ever fished. Going and fishing that.
That's
I
a
stuck
huge
in that
deal.
tournament too.
What lake?
But I
what
ended
lake
up catching an over or a big fish. It was on Conroe.
Okay, did Combs win that?
I believe he did.
Yeah, he won like 3 of them.
Did.
So I just was wondering.
Yeah, he did win a couple of them. Yeah, he just cranked their faces.
Yeah, that's what he does all the time.
I caught a big fish. You know, like a Toyota big fish. I got to weigh it in up there. And that was really cool. But I've never been able to figure out Conroe, dude.
Conroe's tough. It's a tough fisher. But
that's
that's awesome. That's awesome though.
So how many years do you fish in PAA?
It's probably it's 4. It's 4 years.
4 years.
Dang, you fished there for a while.
Yeah. After the second year, they got sponsored by Bass Pro Shops, and then so all the lakes were kind of based around where Bass Pro Shops were, and then they kind of started sucking, and then you had guys kind of falling out, going, you know, man, I'd rather fish the elites, I'd rather fish FLW than fish these crummy lakes.
Oh, they went okay. I didn't know that.
So they started losing some names a little bit.
Yeah, that was just like, man, you know, go fish some summer Tennessee lakes that aren't very good, and I don't know. You know, you got to keep the tournament series alive. You got to do sponsors and all that stuff. I get it, but
sure,
that whole thing was started because anglers wanted something kind of for them, by them, and then it ended up going the ways of everything else.
Falling into the trap of sponsorships.
Right.
Yeah. Got to do it sometimes.
So how do we transition out of PAA? Because you retained some sort of position in the industry, right? So is that when you started working for Wade Middleton?
Yeah, I did. So Wade helped put on the Collegiate Bass Championship, and so
he's still involved.
He was a big part of that. Yep, and you know, he's really one of the guys that got college bass fishing going as an organization. So I kept in touch with him, and I was no longer a guide. I had to get out of Lake Fork area and kind of get back to some sort of city, because as a young man, there's not a whole lot of ladies going on.
That area over there, I mean, I run a few trips over there. I'm not, nothing crazy, but that area over there ain't much around that area.
It's not. Yeah. So the talent pool much higher around the FW area, any sort of city. So yeah, I was probably like, I don't know, 24, 25 at the time, something like that, maybe 26, I don't know. And so, anyway, Wade reached out, and, he gave me a job working as, I didn't know how to work a camera at all, but I had just started making YouTube videos with a GoPro, and he gave me the opportunity to learn from some actual camera guys, film hunting shows, film fishing shows. My first day on the job, I filmed Clark Windlet on Lake, what's that one in Huntsville?
Lake Raven.
Something like that.
Huntsville State Park.
Yeah. Yep. Just learning how to focus the camera and do all that stuff. And then part of my job was working at a deer ranch, just keeping the deer happy down there, and filming all these tournaments and stuff like that. But one of the perks of the job was I got to still fish some tournaments. So I was still fishing the last couple of years at PAA there. And then after that, that's when I transitioned to being a sales rep, and that's when I met you, Shane, as in that position.
And you were,
so I'm sure you remember that.
Sales rep for Shimano.
Sportco Marketing, right?
Sportco.
Yeah, Sportco Marketing.
Okay.
One of their main companies was Shimano, and drove down to a little place around Lake Livingston one day. A little place called Tackle Addict.
Tackle
Set you up as a Shimano dealer.
But this is when we were like in an 1,100 square foot shop, was it not?
Yeah, it was a little pop up back then.
Yeah, a little typical mom and pop hole in the wall tackle shop with Mr. Jeff Rude. So yeah, I remember that. And I remember I was like, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah.
25 pounds, 2 casts.
So that's all because we haven't really touched on that. Like, you've had your YouTube channel going this whole time, like during the PAA, like through this whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I was working at Carico, when I would go fish a tournament, I would film that.
Okay.
When I would go fishing with my buddies on the weekends.
So this is years.
I'd go film that.
This is
it's many years.
Many years of work are put in by this point. And when you're a sales rep, I mean, what is YouTube looking like at that point? Like when you came in contact with Shane, what is your YouTube channel looking at this point?
Like in terms of subscribers,
like how you're feeling about it, everything. Yeah.
Man, I think when I first became a sales rep, I had maybe just hit 100,000 subs. Maybe.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think it was either like, I don't know, over 50, something like that. Hit that first 50 milestone, and it was just kind of running in the background. I maybe did like a video once a week or every couple of weeks.
Okay.
Something like that.
Still, 100,000 is pretty good. I mean.
Oh, I knew who he was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was big, and that one video with the A-rig, that kind of got some attention.
I've watched that thousands of times. I love that video.
Yeah, but I just kept it going, and then I even incorporated like stuff I was selling into the video, like
awesome
Shimano stuff in there and whatever. Just thought it'd kind of help out the company and add some value, and then one day I was just making these sales calls. And occasionally I would get like hey, you're LakeForkGuy when I go into an account. And then one day it was just like, man, a couple of people in the store were like, hey man, can I take a picture with you? Can I have an autograph while I'm,
Weird.
In my khakis and polo in there without a fishing rod, just like with my notepad writing orders.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, this could be big. And YouTube was growing, but it still wasn't one of those things where I felt comfortable I could make a living at it.
Mm.
So it took me a while to look at it and go, okay, I think I should probably do this. And that was kind of when I started fishing with some of the guys in the Googan Squad and other fishermen.
Collaborating with some of the other YouTubers, yeah.
Yeah, other YouTubers at the time, and I was like, man, there's other people that are doing this as a living, and kind of gave me some examples and a direction to go. And then one day I was just like, man, I'm stupid if I don't do this. So
I think you made the right call.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did, but it was scary, dude. Like those first 4 or 5 months, and I'm like, okay, my actual job is gone. Now my life revolves around putting internet videos up online, and you're dealing with algorithms and robots and changing trends and everything like that.
Right.
And it's a grind.
Now you're talking over my head with the whole algorithms and all that stuff. I've heard a couple of you guys say that stuff, and I'm like, what? Yeah. What do you mean by algorithm?
Yeah, it's changed. It's changed every year. They come up with some new algorithm and things like that. So I had to dive deep in there and really put out a lot of content, but I was happy to do it, and I was hustling doing other things. I was writing for another website, and then creating videos for another website, and then I started making video content for the catch company. I was doing a lot of their like behind the scenes, like I wasn't even on camera type stuff.
Sure.
And then being on camera for some of their videos as well, and just trying to do everything I could video wise to make a little change. So
yeah. So I remember when you started collaborating with some of the other guys, you know, the other popular ones, One Rod, One Reel, and Lunkers, and some of those guys, and there was this group that kind of started to form. I mean, how did that all go? How does the Gugan Squad even form?
The Googan Squad, I'm sure is what you're referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so in the early days, so I wasn't a founding member of the Gugan Squad. So they had started this group when I was still a sales rep, and then I was on my way out. I was like about to make this jump, and that was seeing them was also like a part of why I wanted to make that jump, because I saw potential in it. But some of my best buddies, like Jared Outlaw, and these other guys that I was filming with, you know, they helped my channel grow and give me some hope to do it. But after it was about a year, I guess, after they had formed, one of the guys just decided he didn't want to do it anymore. It was One Rod.
Yeah,
One Rod was one of the founding members, and you know, they were recruiting at the time, and I'd already been filming with, you know, 2 or 3 of the other guys,
mm-hmm.
and it was just kind of like a natural thing. It was like, oh, hey man, you want to join?
You want in the Cool Kid Club?
Yeah, I definitely. Well, so that was kind of a hard decision too, because I was like, all right, I have this LakeForkGuy brand that I'm trying to build. Sure. And you know, I'm hustling on these other things, trying to put my stamp on it. And it's like, now I'm gonna join this. Is this gonna kind of fade out what I'm doing? But I always, you know, I played baseball and other sports, and I always thought that a team would be really cool and it'd be more beneficial. And I started thinking about it more long term, and I was like, what is LakeForkGuy worth in, you know, years and years down the road? It's just me. Mm-hmm. And then I started thinking, this Googan brand could be a much bigger thing. And I thought I could add something to it too, because at the time, like, no one was fishing tournaments out of that group. I was pretty dialed on fishing, and I thought I could add some like more serious tournament, like older audience,
I'd agree with that,
to the group. So and they all thought that too. I thought it was a good idea. So yeah, join with them, and we've been making nonsense ever since.
Well, so as a retailer and somebody who's been in the industry now for a couple of years and kind of watching this whole thing go down, I remember that one year, the very kind of first year, we're talking ICAST, right? There's all this buzz about YouTubers, okay? And I remember everybody in the industry going, man, who are these cats? What are they doing? These guys are goobers making videos, and all the kind of old time big money players in the industry were, to be real, kind of dog the YouTube thing a little bit. Like, this isn't serious. Sure. This isn't gonna last. These guys aren't for real. So from the outside looking in, well, I say outside, you know, I'm in the industry, whatever. But going to ICAST, I remember there was all this buzz about you guys, and actually I heard the real story from you and Matt and Rob the other weekend about that ICAST thing. I remember I get to ICAST, and you guys were not participating in the actual show floor booth space. You guys had a hotel suite, and it was like the strangest thing. You guys had everybody's attention. All people could talk about inside ICAST, which for those of you who don't know what ICAST is, it's our biggest industry show. It's in Orlando every year. Unfortunately, they need to move it. That's another topic.
Vegas. It was more fun.
Yeah, Vegas would be cool. That'd be a good time. But so You guys are in this hotel suite, and everybody is talking about you. You guys aren't even there, and everybody's talking about you. And I had to go check it out for myself, and I hadn't seen you in a couple years, or maybe a year or something like that, since you'd gotten all mega famous with Googan Squad at that point.
He kind of forgot about you.
Yeah, he forgot about me. Didn't remember.
Not true.
So I remember going to that. The vibe was so weird. I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. So what was the real story? There was everybody in ICAST felt like you guys were kind of flipping the bird in the industry.
Well, I'm trying to remember the year. So the ASA that kind of put ICAST on, they got upset with us because we had, it's a retailer show. It's not a open to the public type show. It kind of seems like it is.
Yeah, everybody gets in if they want to.
Technically, it's not. It's for buyers to come and check out new products, media, and stuff like that. So we set up a meetup area outside of the building. And we, everyone like put out on their social media, like, hey, we're going to be here. Come hang out with us. And there was like a line of over 1,000 people out there.
It's crazy.
And it was causing a mess because, traffic. And there was something with concessions, like with the union, because we were buying like free pizzas for people. And that was like upsetting the union. And the ASA got pissed off because, dude, I mean, they're standing out in line. It's summer in ICAST in Florida. In Orlando. Like, it's so hot. Like, so we had a cooler with waters and, some food. And, I mean, we had never seen anything like that before. So we were just trying to, be nice.
Yeah.
And they got all upset. And you know how it is, too, man. To get a booth in there, they really stick it to you. I mean, It is like so much money to do a booth. So anyway, we were trying to do something off the cuff, be different, where our buyers should come have like a different experience and not be in the rat race in there. And causes that. So
yeah,
people probably didn't like that.
Caused a little fuss.
Man, it was hilarious. So I was like, I got to go check out this hotel suite situation. I had no idea what was going to happen in there. I wasn't sure I was going to make it out, to be honest.
Before that, dude, even before we had Googan Bait, even before we started that, like in the first year, we were all kind of there. We were meeting up, and, man, I remember one of the reasons I wanted to be in the squad, too, is because of this, is we all have the same problem of we were trying to convince the fishing industry to sponsor us and no one wanted to. So they didn't understand YouTube. They didn't understand unique impressions. We're going there with like pitch decks and trying to present this information to people, and they spend all this money on TV, and we're just saying, hey, just a fraction of that, like, help us out. And everyone was trying to do this on their own accord and failing. And so, we talked about this many times as a group, before the Googan Squad was really the Googan Squad. It was like, we just need to form together and gather all of our numbers and show how big it actually is. And so,
and as a result, you guys kind of
what we did.
Built your own brand. So instead of needing these brands,
that's why.
Yeah,
that's exactly how it happened.
Wow.
We're going to all the companies and like, and honestly, I can't even blame them, because if you're used to something for so long and something new comes around, you're not sure of it. So that just kind of made us form our own brand of things, and it
was a good thing they did. It was a good thing that they didn't that they didn't really help you, then, because y'all formed that because of it.
It's a good thing now. Yeah, looking at it now, yeah. But at the time, we were like,
damn,
man, like, we're trying to make a living doing this. It's so hard.
You know what's almost comical to me, and I don't know figures from a monetized YouTube channel, but at this point, you guys are probably making more money than the average professional as far as their endorsements they get from these industry sponsors. You guys are probably getting more from who owned YouTube at the time? Was it Google back then, or has it always been Google? I mean, excuse my ignorance.
Google, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still Google. Susan
Yeah. So I mean,
Wozniak or whatever.
Your check from Google was probably fatter than most pro anglers on the tier, as you like to call it.
Man, a few years ago when I would say fishing is so saturated now on YouTube, it's crazy.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, I was making some pretty good checks.
Nice.
But the thing that I've enjoyed seeing now is there's a lot of pro guys that are making videos.
Yeah.
And I've fished with some of them and tried to explain to them. The Gugan Squad has collaborated with a few guys, and we worked with a few guys, but a lot of pro anglers are starting to make their own videos, and it just helps, man. The more information is out there, like I'm just trying to figure it out. I go fishing a lot, but the guys that are on the water really doing it for a living, tournament fishing, they are always going to have the most dialed information. So it's good. It's just it saturates the pipe.
Yeah,
There used to be.
I agree with that. I think there are some guys that may even been against. I don't know if against the YouTube thing is a good word.
Sure
I know what you're
against
about to say.
And they've got channels now, and and there's some big names that have channels now. But
they saw it.
Well, their sponsors probably told them.
They probably straight up, yeah.
So that shift in the industry is no doubt a direct result of what you guys have accomplished.
Absolutely.
And hats off to that. I mean, you guys have changed the industry. I mean, that's very few people can say they've actually done that. I mean, it totally changed the way people look at it.
Whether some people think you changed it for the better or not, it changed it.
It changed the way they market, for sure.
Absolutely.
That's very true. That's very true. That can be. You can debate both sides of that. I say, the more young anglers you get into the sport, the more it grows, the more money we all make as an industry. Because you go to ICAST, you see it looks huge, but after you go there for like 10 years, you're like, this is kind of a small pond. It needs to grow.
Everybody knows everybody.
So I think that, I know for a fact we've introduced thousands and thousands of young anglers, and I meet them at boat ramps and meet them at shows and everything like that, and I think it's awesome. I think the next step to that is basically making our fisheries a little bit better and maintaining that.
Oh, really?
And that's a whole other topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I would think that growing the sport would mean bringing some of these bigger
non-endemics in.
Yeah, that honestly used to kind of be here, and the sport has grown a lot, and they're not there anymore. And you look at some of the classics they've paid out. They paid out $1 million before. That. It's slowly went down. Our payouts have slowly went down as a tournament angler, and Rackley, I'm sure you
costs more, pays less.
Yeah, and I don't understand why, because the sports are growing. Why is that a thing?
Yeah, man, there's so much to unwrap right here, but I don't.
Yeah,
my personal opinion is no pro angler should be paying entry fees. If you have qualified
at this point.
At this point, if you've qualified and you are a true professional, not I don't know, one of these smaller leagues or whatever anybody can pay in.
Go ahead and say it.
Go ahead and say it, man. I mean, but you're right, dude. I totally agree. The amount of work it takes to qualify for the Elite Series is retarded. You
got to be really good.
You do, and even the MLF Pro Tour, there's a lot of stuff going on over there.
The balance is way off. Like I just said a minute ago, it costs more and it pays less, and that's wrong.
Yeah, and there's, I think the only way for that to change is really as a group, as an angler, as all the anglers as a group have to come together and stop fishing the events, and I just don't know if that'll ever happen.
Well, I just think the Googan Squad needs to finish taking over the industry and have their own trail.
Yeah, why don't you start a trail, Rackley?
Well, I'm not going to say it hasn't been talked about. It's some sort of cup event that anybody can come to, and we can have a good time and, cook some barbecue and, not take it too seriously, but be some good payouts.
Man, fishing is fun.
Have good.
Right,
exactly. But I just think like the pro guys definitely deserve better. And
I like that.
I've seen some really good anglers, man. They just struggle, and they're so skilled. And unless you're, really skilled at social media now, it's harder. Like that's becoming more of a pressure. And just look at like a pro baseball player, a pro golfer.
Right.
Like they're there to do that one job.
That's it.
Yeah. Once you've earned your spot, you're set.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And while we're on that, I would go even further with this, boys. I would say I would like to see tournament angling change in a lot of different ways where there are teams.
Yes.
There are big sponsored teams like
NASCAR
teams. Yeah.
Oh,
Formula One.
Yep.
And you have a group. It's going to be way more entertaining you got to figure out a way to make this entertaining for a bunch of folks. And while I'm on a rant here, I just think the days of bringing 5 bass in a tank in a bass boat to the stage, putting them in a sack and weighing them in a grocery sack or a laundry bin. Those days are gonna go bye, boys. We can't be doing that forever because there's a 30% delayed mortality rate on these fisheries, and you can't do that forever.
No, it's hard to sustain that for sure.
So you're thinking more of
Rayburn can. Rayburn can. It's a gigantic lake, but you look at the amount of fishing pressure since COVID on all these lakes around here, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry that has a tournament,
right?
It hurts, man. It's gonna hurt the fisheries, and unless we stay on top of stocking and habitat, then it's gonna get very, very tough, man.
Yeah,
especially with live scope out there.
Yeah, habitat, man. Habitat.
That's a whole nother tough subject though there, because it's tough to.
It is. I'm full of it right now. I'm fired up right now.
You kind of got to what the whole premise of the juice is about.
And it's interesting to hear your opinion coming from.
I'm actually surprised to hear him talk about this.
Yeah, coming from his side,
it's refreshing
because you can hear certain guys talk about it all day long. But there's one thing you touched on that I completely agree with. The new professional angler isn't just. It's not the way it used to be, where you just catch them and sponsors approach you and you get the backing and you go fish.
Yeah.
That's not the new age, man. To be a true professional in our sport now, you need to be good with social media, and you need to be and you honestly, you need to. I mean, so you still got to catch them, but I mean, you have to be a well-rounded, true professional, and that's just the sport where it is today. And I think you touched on that was.
Well, I think the other major problem is we're too diluted.
Yeah.
Too
I
much
agree.
Division.
This whole like so many leagues going on. We need to get it figured out. I don't know if we'll ever have the days back of like 2006 Sitco Bassmaster. Like those days where it was on ESPN.
Yeah, man.
Dudes were just, man, you had Zona out there, and you had the Elite 50s, and dude, that was like the peak of the sport. Ever since then, it has just gone down and kind of split up, and
it's crazy.
I think it needs to be a better viewer audience experience. I know they do live track and all that stuff, but I mean, man,
I like the idea of the NASCAR teams, man. I'm in.
You mean like the Shimano or the so and so?
Yeah, Team Shimano.
Yeah,
Team Tackle Addict, Team Googan, Team whatever,
Chevy.
Striking.
Gotcha.
Whatever. Yeah. Whatever it is, and you've got like, I don't know, 8 dudes on a team, something like that, or
point system. Obviously, you have a winner. Yeah. It's a
you still have your solo separate, but you're saying that the Team Shimano, those anglers, they don't have any like financial burden on them now. Like that team pays for everything and stuff. Yeah.
That's right.
That's the way. Right. That's an interesting thought.
You'll have like individual honors, honors, but just like it is in Formula One.
Overall performance.
Like
of the
you're
team.
still competing against each other, but you're using team information. You're using like the same rigs. You're getting information as a team. You're working together and trying to get that win. You just got to decide like who's going to be the Ricky Bobby or
yeah. Hey, that's
hey man, can I win one time?
Yeah, but then like how can I win? No, that's interesting, man. Because there's a lot to talk about that on that subject there. Because it's such a like me sport that to go to something like that is so tough.
Egos.
So it's such an egotistical sport, dude.
Egos, man.
Such an ego sport.
That's the downfall. That's why I decided I would join with a
team
group,
instead
of being individual, because there's more value in it.
So let's talk about the value of that a little bit. What I mean by that is, so now that the Googan Squad is just giant, you guys have taken over the industry. You got everybody's attention. You decide, well, if you guys don't want to play ball, we'll create our own brand and check this out. Now we're set up in. You guys got your own Googan store now. You got you guys are just getting into every product line now, right?
Yeah, they got everything.
Let's talk about
a
recent acquisition a little bit, just so we can understand, and that kind of fits into the whole industry as a whole. It's all kind of becoming, these holding companies are snatching some stuff up.
Oh yeah, that stuff happens. I mean, I've learned a lot about it over the last few years, but basically, Googan was partially acquired by a holding company, a capital company, Rise Run, and so that gives us the opportunity. That's House of Outdoors now, and that gives us the opportunity to put even more brands under our name and expand as a total outdoor brand.
Yeah.
And the capital company gives you a little powder in the gun to go out and build these things.
Yeah.
So we've hired some more staff. To build these things, you got to have really, really good staff. So, one of the guys recently hired one of our buddies, Trey.
Oh, yeah.
Epic. I'm sure he'll be on this podcast.
Shout out to Trey
already.
Oh yeah, we'll have him on. He's got
Trey.
some cool stories.
Former he does, man. Everybody.
Product manager for Shimano.
Yep. Yeah, he came from Shimano. I knew him since then. But just great guys like that we can put on our team and continue to grow. Yeah, it just takes a little more ammo. So the reason I love those capital guys we work with is because we basically went shopping with a bunch of them, and they were the only ones. Yeah, there's a lot of them that just say like, okay, they're going to basically gut your staff. They're going to change a bunch of things. They want to do it their way. And so these were one of the few guys that were like, all right, look, we love what you're doing. We want you to keep doing what you're doing. We love your manager. We're going to make him CEO, and
here's some money.
Basically stay out of the way. Yeah. Here's some capital. You guys go do you, and
go make it happen.
Go make it happen. So that's what we've been doing, and yeah, they really don't interfere too much. To be honest, they
that's cool.
They know that we're a little wild.
No, not you guys.
Hey man, they said, hey man, y'all been doing pretty good for a while. Y'all been making a lot of money. Y'all just keep on doing your thing.
Here you go.
There you go.
So Bass Mafia is one of the is a fairly recent one, right?
Yeah, so I've known Jeremy for a little bit. Yeah, no, I believe it's a done deal now. But that's one of the companies that we're working to put under the House of Outdoors brand that I love. I mean, I've used Bass Mafia products for
I've
years,
seen those Googan boxes.
Well, I think it's going to be more than just boxes, though, right? I mean, I don't know how much you can divulge, but we had a little conversation in the shop the other day about you guys have a pretty cool vision for that.
Yeah, there's going to be some tackle and stuff come out of that. I think the audience that's buying Tackle Mafia or Bass Mafia right now, they're a little bit more serious anglers, so we're going to offer some more serious stuff.
Yeah, I would agree
under that line.
I'd agree with that.
No, but, I liked everything you guys had to say the other day. I think that's a home run. Sign me up.
Yeah. And then Jeremy, who used to fish the Elite Series, he's basically our, consult under Bass Mafia. I've fished with him quite a few times. Dude, that dude is a fishing freak. Like all he does, he likes to design products, engineer things. He's a biologist by trade.
Oh yeah, talking about an intelligent
dude. He still stays connected with the elite guys, and then he'll get like word of, hey man, there's a sneaky little bite going out on this river over here, and blah blah blah. And he'll drive 13 hours overnight and just be there and just snatching them. I get calls from him all the time, like, dude, they are biting the piss off of the thing. Like, you need to get up here and come fishing. And anyway, he loves to fish. I love working with Jeremy. So
that's cool.
Good guy to have on the team as well.
Yeah. Well, so we are the juice. So we talked about something that you've added. What about something that's been removed here? Can we touch on the brand favorite fishing for a minute?
Yeah, sure. So favorite, favorite was another rod company that actually approached. I got to give favorite credit here. They were the first company that actually approached Googan Squad and said, we'll give you a shot. Mm-hmm. We'll work with you. How that introduction happened was, this is actually right before I came on. The guys, I was at ICAST, but I was working still at the sales rep. Mm-hmm. The guys had gone to like every booth, and I'm going to my little booths trying to get some sponsors too for my YouTube channel. But the guys had gone around everywhere. Hey, if you want to sponsor us, we've got this many views as a group, and no one cared except for Winston Tucker over at Favorite Fishing. He actually thought it'd be a good idea, so gave us a shot. And anyway, we started developing some products with them. And we ran the rods for a few years, but then we just started. The problem with them was like we weren't getting exactly what we wanted out of the rods, and it was a lot of individual rods. Mm. Like everyone had their own.
I remember that
rod, and it was kind of weird because to me, like I don't really care about individual. I mean, it's cool, but again, like the LFG brand, I didn't see it. I'm not gonna lie, it was cool to have my own rod and stuff like that, but yeah. I always thought like we should be doing this as a collective, and it was all kind of separated as individual, and some things weren't as dialed as we wanted to be. So we decided to cut ties with them. And it was mutual agreement, and we cut ties. And then after that, we decided to make rods under one brand, and that was with Ketchco. So we've always worked with Ketchco because they own Mystery Tackle Box. Mm-hmm. They've been like a long sponsor of all of us for a while. So
sure.
They said that they wanted to make some rods. We're like, all right, let's do it. And we literally for 9 months drew out everything that we wanted, went through like 6 or 7 series of samples. Dude, just every little detail. It was from the ground up. And that was just something that, we didn't get to do with Favorite. It was just kind of like, hey, this is a series that we want to do, and we'll put your LakeForkGuy or Lunkers, whatever you want to do on it. you go sell it. So in that aspect, I thought it was a way better ground up experience. And but I still love hanging out with Winston. He's
a good time.
He's a good dude to hang out with. Oh yeah, he's a great time.
Well, that's cool, man. So you guys got an exciting future ahead of you. So what do you see as far as where sky's the limit for you guys right now? I mean, just grow.
Besides sponsoring Wyatt Frankins and Shane Campbell, what is the next?
Yeah.
What is the next big thing going on for Googan?
The next big thing is, we'll probably try to do some like on-demand stuff, like a Netflix type thing.
What?
I'd say that's probably in the works.
Jesus.
As far as like products goes and brands, our Googan bait has been pretty explosive.
Yeah.
We're staying on top of that. I've been working on crappie baits for the last 4 months, so we got crappie baits.
They work.
Finalized.
They work.
Yeah, we did snatch some the other day on them. So we'll be getting into a few different other categories, but man, the biggest thing we have right now that we're launching is apparel, like trying to do really high end fishing stuff that you like. The other day we were fishing the tournament, and I was going 20 miles up to the canyon. And it was like 40 degrees in the morning. I just had one of our performance hoodies on that we've been working on with full face shield. It's just really high end type stuff. But before, like when we were first getting going, man, we were just like slapping logos on t-shirts.
Some Gildane t-shirts, get them out the door.
Yeah, exactly. And now we actually hired a lady from Fossil. Her name's Amy. She's amazing, and she's got a team that just creates like legit stuff. So performance type wear is the big thing right now. And then content wise, man, gosh, I don't know. We've been doing a lot more hardcore fishing content. Like we've been recording all these tournaments that we've been going to. That doesn't get the big pop and views as like doing a food fight video or something silly like that, But I think it connects with a lot more hardcore anglers, which I love to do.
Right. Which probably in turn will help you with some of the baits and some of the stuff coming down the line that you guys are talking about. So
yeah. And maybe some like short docks. We'll probably do some short docks. Go into some unique places. One of the places I've wanted to do a short dock on is Caddo Lake.
Really?
I think it'd be really cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's just that vibe, man. And the swamps.
It's pretty.
Giant bass in there. Very pretty.
It's
like
cool
little
place.
short films.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know. Can we reinvent the live well? Can we do that?
I'm sure you guys can.
Oh. There's a lot of things, man. But yeah, like I said earlier, I just think that both. I think we talked about this too around the Traeger. We need to probably advance our boats a little bit, advance the way we handle fish, weigh in fish, and release them and everything like that. So,
sure. Yeah. I think there's a lot of change coming and all that. I mean, this can't sustain the way we got it right now as far as the division and
the division's terrible
and all that. So it's got to come to a point.
Yeah. What do you want to see? What do you want to see as far as like tournaments?
Man, we got to have
what's your build out? We
got to have some unity first of all. Number one, I think you already touched on it, is once you reach that pro level, it's so reversed that to fish the pro, it's so expensive, and the payout, ratio wise is not that great. So it shouldn't be that way. If you're a pro and you make it that way, you should be on top of the game and just have to live and fish, and you've earned the right to be there and be a talent in the sport and an ambassador for the sport. So I think that's going to take some unity for sure. I definitely agree with you touched on something earlier on the habitat of the lakes themselves. Not just the fish, not just stocking them with Florida strain fingerlings. I mean, that's great. Parks and Wildlife does an awesome job of that. But a lot of these really, really good lakes, we are trashing the habitat that they live in. And that's why they suck. And nobody wants to talk about that. Toledo Bend, for example.
Yeah, Toledo. What the hell?
No grass. That lake needs grass. When that lake has grass, it's on fire.
Yeah, it's got no grass.
Conroe, same way.
Yep, Conroe the same way.
You know, Conroe, it
is the secret weapon.
Habitat, man. That's not a word that gets talked about enough.
I agree.
But especially grass, it seems to be. So I've thought about this. How much time do we have here?
As much time as you want. You're Lake Fork guy.
Can I go deep right here?
Send it.
So I think with our lakes, we should probably think about having off-limits areas on certain parts of the lakes. This, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's probably be very controversial.
I like it though.
This could be rotatable, so and it doesn't have to be every lake. I don't know the exact system that'll work the best for everyone. But let's just say we have Lake Fork. You know, gets pounded pretty hard. Tends to sustain because it's a slot lake, and you're not, you don't have tournaments where you're weighing in a lot of fish on stage and whatnot. But let's just say that, for example, Lake Fork, and you say this year Birch Creek is going to be off limits, and there's a buoy line going across Birch. Pretty easy for a game warden to. That's a pretty easy job to make sure no one's going in there, or you just do it for January through May or something like that.
Get them through the spawn.
And then the next year it's like Will Caney or one of these other creek, good major creek on it, and that is a sanctuary basically during the spawn or for that whole year, and it's rotatable, and those are just completely fresh fish that don't get messed with, and it'd be really exciting to go in there after the off limits and be able to catch those fish, and they have a guaranteed haven for a spawn. Rayburn could be the same way. It's pretty huge. You could take some smaller
could totally cut out
portion of it.
Wow. I see Wyatt's. You should see Wyatt's face right now. He's like, he has no idea.
It's a great idea. It will be so tough on tournaments for Rayburn.
Well, okay. So when you go fish a place like you go up in Canada or go up to these northern lakes that have these off limits places, it is unbelievable. I mean, you'll catch 100 fish a day. It's stupid. And this is how these lakes used to be 30 years ago.
Well, they're off limits because they're frozen.
No, they have fishing seasons up north.
Oh yeah, you're right.
On top of that, when the lakes aren't even frozen, you can't even go in the water.
Yeah, they have sanctuaries till like June when they're done spawning.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, man. Thinking about, I grew up trout fishing. A lot of people don't know that, but I grew up trout fishing in like Montana and Colorado. It's kind of the first fishing I did as a kid. But I remember going to these places. There were certain stretches of river that were off limits during certain times of the year to let the fish do what they do.
They continue to be fantastic. They're just fantastic fisheries. Now, granted, smallmouth are way more aggressive on beds than largemouth, so you could wipe them out easier. But as we add thousands and thousands of more anglers to these fisheries, boat sales this past year were incredible. My local boat dealer, Fun and Sun Boats, they
has
record sales for like 3 or 4 months. Yeah, you can't even get a boat. Like it's sold before it even gets to the lot. So I just think that if we're going to keep increasing the sport, increasing anglers, we got to increase the amount of habitat and the fisheries. And like I said, for big lakes like Rayburn, they're not as affected. But for like Lake Louisville and some of these other,
is there bass in that?
Not anymore, dude.
The whole DFW area.
Pelagic.
What do you think would happen to Louisville if you put hydrilla in it?
Dude, it'd be incredible. It'd be incredible. Any city lake that you put hydrilla in just turns into such a good fishery. You got to battle with the boaters and all that stuff, but here's my solution for that. So you have a section of the lake that is sanctuary for fishery itself. It's not off limits for fishing during the year, but you can't boat in there. Or you can't. You can go in there and fish, but you can't.
No tubing.
You can't.
No jet skis.
You're not going to remove. Yeah, you're not going to remove the grass. It's there for fishing. It's like a branch of the lake. Let's say the east arm or something like that.
Wow.
And that has hydrilla
That's
and
good.
timber and whatever in it. And the boaters can go jack around on the other side and leave the anglers to punch in mats in September.
Those days are.
I think you should run for Texas governor.
Yeah,
I'll vote for you, and I want you to spend all your money on that.
Yeah, because that's kind of the stuff you're diving into. You're talking about money that they're going to have to, the state would have to fund, right? Like,
it's a dream, man. But I like the dream.
Dreamer's dream.
I like where he's going.
Dreamer's dream.
Yeah, I don't know if it would take that much money. I mean, they
spend it anyway.
No, you're right. You're right. They spend a lot of money spraying grass and killing it. Yeah, they like to do that. But I think that's pretty.
Wow, this is not where I expected the show to go.
No, not at all.
This is awesome, though.
But I'll tell you this: for me personally, this is just my personal opinion. I think a lot of other tournament anglers share this opinion as well. Like, I definitely care about the habitat and I care about the fish, but without tournament fishing, I don't love this game as much as I do. Okay, so
yeah,
the tournament aspect draws me to it, along with a lot of other competitive people that do this. That the reason they do it is because they have a competitive side. So I think the more important issue at hand is to figure out a way to, like we've already touched on with the anglers, rather than the habitat. I understand the habitat is a very important deal.
You have both, though.
You do have to have both because you have to sustain the fisheries and stuff. But I think for me, and I think a lot of other tournament anglers should share this.
So why doesn't
that's got to be?
Yeah, I agree. So Googan, I think you need to ask Matt. Ask Matt if you guys can buy bass in MLF. While you guys are buying some stuff up, go ahead and buy those organizations and fix this problem. How crazy would that be that the industry kind of snubbed the YouTubers and then they rise up and save it? They buy it and they fix it. Do it, boys.
I don't know about buying the tournament stuff, but man, we would definitely want to get involved in saving these fisheries. Or I'm just trying to look ahead because LiveScope's only been around a few years where people are like adapting and starting to really use it, and it's just going to continue to grow. And I mean, this is just another topic, but it continues to add pressure. It takes away those little hidey holes, those little suspended waiting areas where they just hang out, and it's just one more thing where you're getting fish. Grass actually prevents a lot of that.
It does. They can hide in there.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I agree. A lot of the live scope fish we catch are fish
common denominator.
Yeah, they don't see those baits.
They're fish that weren't targeted.
Yeah, they don't see when they're doing that thing. They don't see baits until the last 3 years. That's a whole other episode we want to get into too. So.
Yeah, I mean, just for example, though, look at OHIV when we were out there.
Don't have live scope, you're not catching.
You're not catching anything. Yeah. So
that time of year.
Daggum, you boys just wrecked their butts.
We really didn't wreck their butts.
We missed it. We missed the window. Wyatt got a world record out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats.
I appreciate it.
I bypassed that. I went to Choke Canyon after that, and
heck yeah, you talk about a grass fishery.
Actually, Choke Canyon, all the grass is gone. It's terrible.
Don't go there.
Don't go there.
Nobody go to Choke
go there.
Canyon. You heard it from LFG.
It's about like Louisville, so
no fish in it. Everybody ignore it.
Yeah.
We actually didn't do too bad on time.
No, man.
That was actually, so we talked about some really good stuff, Rackley.
Yeah, you got into some subjects I didn't think you were going to, and like it was deep. Like I'm gonna lose some sleep over this one tonight, just kind of thinking about how do we do this?
Yeah,
he's right. He's 100%
hey, man,
right.
You're the mayor. You're the mayor.
He is the mayor. He's the mayor. He's
Yeah.
the mayor of Basstown, bro. He's the mayor of Basstown.
Yeah.
You need to get on the board
Which,
of Texas Fisheries or something.
I'm in.
Go.
I'm on every board there is around here now. Matter of fact, I got a school board meeting in an hour. So
he's the mayor of freaking Basstown. We might as well start our own board.
Yeah.
Yeah. All seriousness though.
Thought.
You need to come up here and film with us.
He's been up here a few times.
I want him there in spring.
Yeah.
Pre-spawn.
I called him when I was on that pretty nasty little brush pile bite.
Yeah.
I said, hey man.
No, you don't need to do it out here.
I was like, you want to catch a few big ones on camera?
We're not.
He just couldn't make it work. He's a busy guy, man. He's a family man. You got
baby.
Lovely family there. Just had a new baby boy. Congrats.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah. Just got a vasectomy yesterday, too.
Wow.
So that's,
I wasn't going to say anything.
I'm,
there it is, the juice.
I am dedicated to being on the juice right now.
You are dedicated, man.
Yeah.
Because when I got mine, I wasn't going in. I didn't want to talk to anybody. And I told him this. He said, yeah, I could do it, but, I got a little procedure going on Wednesday. So maybe the next day. I was like, bro, the next day I was wishing that had never happened.
I'm thinking about getting one myself. Rough, what do you think, Rack? You think I should get one now while I'm 25?
Well, I want to tell you what, man.
Not a bad idea.
It feels like you're being kicked in the scrotum pretty hard. So that's something you want to do. Go for it.
It hurt. It hurt. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, thank you for sharing that on the juice.
Yeah,
we heard it here first on the juice.
Sure, man.
I don't know if you posted on your social media outlets, but now your fans know.
No. That's first. That's first knowledge right there.
Awesome.
On the juice.
Man, I feel so privileged. I feel really privileged right now.
Yes, sir.
Well,
hey, let's go fishing in the spring.
Invite
me out. Just give me a ring when they are getting in that pre-spawn mode, and we'll eat a little moving, rattling thing. I like that a lot.
Pre-spawn is nasty here. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, me and Sharon are gonna be
because
taking
every tournament I've ever fished out there, man. Every tournament I've gone to that I've fished early spring is I don't even know where those fish live. Like I see these fish come in, I got 12 pounds, and they're like magnum gorillas.
30 plus to even be in the conversation.
Oh man, when the grass was really good a couple years ago, they had some spring pre-spawn tournaments, and it was like 50 bags over 20 pounds.
I remember that. Yep.
I mean, like I came in with 22 pounds. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be up there, and I was in like 31st. I was like, you kidding me?
I remember that. I remember Phil Marks won that event.
I just want to see it one time.
37.
We'll do it. We will definitely
do it, man.
We will definitely do that. So, man, we're gonna wrap this up, but I got a couple questions for you to wrap it up. And I know this is gonna be hard because I was scrolling through the old archivist of LFG on YouTube, and my goodness, I did not know how many videos you had. I knew you had a lot, but it took me a while to get to the bottom. What is your
12 years?
What is your favorite video?
My favorite video is not even a fishing video.
All right.
The favorite video series that I ever did, was a whole series, was when I went to New Zealand. And I've never been out there before. That place is majestical. It's like you're in Lord of the Rings. I didn't even get to fish. That's something I want to go back and do. They have humongous trout out there. But, dude,
New Zealand.
It's the only thing that I really rewatch on my channel. Everything else, I edit it, I put it up. I really don't watch it. There's some stuff with my dad that I'll rewatch. But that was my favorite, man. That was
That's
pretty
awesome.
majestical.
It's awesome. I'm gonna have to go watch those.
Yeah, want to go back there.
I watched a few of them.
Go
I'm not going to say I'm very good at watching YouTube videos. I'm just going to be honest.
I'll have to go watch those. Interesting.
LFG and I
yeah.
I go back with him, so I watch a few of his. But all right, so
dude, you're famous. You're famous out there, dude.
Man,
you got the our old crappie videos. They got to be some of the highest viewed on the internet.
Man,
no question.
The freaking mayor of Basstown.
You know, it's the only time I ever felt famous is I actually went to a high school like banquet or something. This was like, I think you and I just shot a couple videos together on Kurtz or whatever. And this kid literally came up to me, and it's a true story, came up to me and asked me, he's like, "Are you Shane? I saw you in a LakeForkGuy video. Will you sign my hat?" And I was like, I am like, is this what it feels like to be a YouTuber? I was a guest in his video, and this kid wants me to sign his hat. I was like, imagine what it's like to be LakeForkGuy for a day.
I know.
Man.
Pimping ain't easy.
Just
old
pimping.
crusty.
So, all right. So speaking of your fans here, what would you say to your fans and aspiring YouTubers? What do you got to say to those people out here? They're gonna.
Well, to all the fans, thank you for watching my videos. For so many of them, I don't even know how many there are now, but man, I run into a lot of fans at boat ramps and everything like that. It's still awesome to this day. It doesn't get old. So thank you guys so much. To any aspiring YouTubers out there, I would say don't lose your soul in the internet. Try to keep some balance in your life and not get lost, because man, there's so many young people now, they just get lost in becoming an influencer and being on, just trying to get famous or whatever, man. Just be yourself, be true to yourself. It's always better for whoever's watching you too, just being honest with them. Yeah, just have fun with it and never stop uploading. That's the biggest problem that people run into. They have a few ideas, and then they run out of the ideas after a couple months, and then the struggle begins. So write down a bunch of ideas, get you a whole Rolodex of things you want to do, things that matter to you, videos you want to make, and just plug away at it.
I like that.
I like it too, man. You heard it from the man himself, the OG YouTuber.
I'm gonna throw something in there. Don't do clickbait, please.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of those.
LakeForkGuy, you do a good job not doing that. You just title it "What's Going On."
Yeah, I know. Doesn't get the views, but I just can't sleep at night.
Yeah, you can't do it, man. There's too many of you guys out there. You know who you are. I won a bass tournament. That was one I watched recently.
I don't remember who was. I don't remember who that was.
Whatever.
Oh, was that?
I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get a lawsuit.
Yeah, a couple of those guys are gonna come jumping some derms on Raven this year. They're gonna learn real quick. But anyways, man, you heard it from the man himself, man. Just be yourself.
Man, I appreciate you coming on. We've been talking about this for a month now. You're a super busy guy. You brought some elk steaks up here, and I appreciate that too. And thanks for your time as always.
Yes, sir.
Next time we can do it in person.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it. I think we're gonna have some of your other boys on. I wanna get some more juice episodes out of Matt and maybe Rob. Rob scares me a little bit.
Woo! That one would be juicy.
Rob scares me in a good way. He's a fun guy. I enjoyed hanging out with everybody this weekend. But man, thanks again. Go back to your family. I know you got to put the wee ones down for bed. Go help Mama.
That's right. That's right.
Go ice.
Thanks, Shane. Thank you, Wyatt.
Yes, sir.
Go ice those huevos.
All right. I'll keep my ice down, ready to go. Get on that trolling motor again.
See you, man.
Have a good one.
All right, man.
Stay juicy.
Good night.
See ya.
He said, "Stay juicy."
Stay juicy.
That guy's a cat.
Man, he's cool.
He's a good dude.
He's super cool, man.
Man, he really is just like a humble dude that, like I had never met him before until like just now.
Yeah, we had dinner the other day.
And it was just like, just normal guy, So and that says a lot. So a lot of these guys that have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, they do not act that way. So
yeah, you're right. But no, man, I really appreciate him coming on. We told you guys in the beginning we were going to have him on. We weren't lying. We finally made it a month later after 2 other failed episodes.
Yeah.
But maybe one day we'll bring those out just to stir the pot and piss somebody off. But probably not.
Well, we do what the hell we want. But we've got some interesting stuff coming up, too.
So we touched on that a minute ago. Matt Kendrick, we didn't talk a lot about him because we're going to let him kind of tell his story. He's the guy behind Googan that kind of runs stuff, and he's got some really cool stories that I want to bring on here. We'll leave that for him, but we're going to get back into a rhythm here.
Yeah, we will. We got some time now, so
yeah, we're in our slow season. I mean, it's going to get busy again, but we're going to try to pump these out. I hate to give a timeline, but the idea is to do these once a week.
Yeah, we'll be fine. And I'll tell you guys straight up some of the not some of the issues we're dealing with, but one of the issues we're running into is because of stuff we want to talk about. We just talked about some of the really important stuff with Justin Rackley, but some of the pros, it's tough, and you could kind of see it from their point of view why some of these subjects are tough. I'm sure the viewers can understand too. It's kind of their business and some touchy subjects that we want to talk about, but we are going to find the right guys.
Man, the industry's in such a fragile place right now. So these guys that we're talking to and then have this juicy information, they're a little leery to share it because of just how fragile their spot in their
organization,
prospective organization.
And
the NPFL thing. Oof.
Yeah, that's
one that needs to be talked about. For those of you who don't know who or what the NPFL is, it's another pro organization that started this year. You need to go do a little research on that because I really want to do an episode on that. That is mind-blowing.
Yeah, we want to do an episode on the NPFL, but
trying to find the right guy. And I think Rob may be the guy.
Rob may be the guy.
He is not scared to say what's up.
And we are not trying to bash anyone. We just want the truth to be told.
We just want the truth out there.
I mean,
that's it.
If the truth is bad, then it's bad, but it's the truth.
That's all we're asking. That's all we're asking people to do on here is come on and tell the truth. We're not asking anybody to come on and badmouth the organization they're with. But there's some shady things going on that you, the consumer, the fan of bass fishing, deserves to understand and know what's happening. So
true, and no organization is innocent. So
no, they all have their issues right now, and they're all just trying to figure it out. But man, I enjoyed this one.
I did too, man. That was fun.
Yeah.
Hope y'all enjoyed it too, man.
Till next time.
Till we see you again.